Without further ado, guys, I am getting ready to share my screen. And we're going to go through who Wakanda is for those of you that might not know, and give you a little history on who we are before we take you on to what all of you all have been waiting for. I didn't mess it up. Let me see. There you go. So again, I've done my own introductions. I'm excited to be here. We are Wakanda, the crown jewel of CBD. And so tonight we want to share with you a little bit about our company before we get into our Flat Belly Lifestyle 2.0. So here our vision is we exist to help end the negative stigma that has caused communities around the world to suffer and lose out on the health and wealth benefits of the cannabis plant. And our mission is we are the catalyst. See, we knew from day one we were not going to be just a company, but a movement that inspires people to confidently move into the legal space as entrepreneurs, formulators, investors, evoking the courage and strength of people to take back their health, wealth, legacy, and freedom. And so here are my other three co-founders, my sisters in health, wellness, legacy, and freedom. First, we start off with our own Dr. Rita J Mcguire. She is our Chief Medical Officer, being our OB-GYN here in the Chicagoland area for over 30 years, and brought some beautiful babies into the world yesterday on Christmas Day, having birthed over 8,000 babies, guys. But she's not only just a doctor, she is also a cannabis expert, having been asked by the state legislature to come and testify before them before passing the law for recreational use here in Illinois. She is also our health pillar. And then we have Dr. Patricia Van Pelt, our president and acting CFO. She is our wealth pillar and on her way to a fourth term state as a state senator here in Illinois. And then Melissa Boston, our CEO, our pillar of legacy, our visionary. I've known this young lady since 2006, and the day before she had fired her boss. You heard me right, fired her boss from corporate America, making over 6 figures, guys, and to be able to come into social selling, to have time management for the people that she loves the most. And she is now our CEO. That visionary that we have, that person who Wakanda was thought of before it even was an idea. And then myself, I'm a lifelong entrepreneur. I only had two jobs in my lifetime. I am known as the midwife here at Wakanda. That means I love helping people, and all of you are pregnant with possibilities. And I'm just there to say, push, push. And so look at our medical advisory board. I am so proud of them, headed up by our own Dr. Rita J Mcguire. We have psychologists, chiropractors, medical doctors. We have psychiatrists, nurse practitioners, nurses, every walk of life from the health arena. And guess what, guys? Each and every one of them prescribe and refer their patients to our Wakanda products. Why? Because they know they work and they get results. And so I want to bring to you, without further ado, our CEO, someone I just told you about, but I'm telling you, you have to put your seatbelts on, guys, because I just want you to be ready for what's up next in Wakanda. We're known for great things, and here goes another one that we are bringing to the arena. Melissa, how are you out there, girl?
I am out here, Phyllis. Thank you so much. I'm actually going to get out of the way real fast tonight because we have something very special today. This is a very special edition of our Flat Belly Lifestyle. You know, we're just actually one day past Christmas. Oh my goodness. So Merry Christmas for all of those of you who celebrate. Happy holidays to everyone else. You know, just super excited that wow, it looks like we're going to probably top over 100 people tonight, already 96 people. And because of the fact that we know that COVID is surging, there's so many things happening right now within our families, within our communities. We actually have our very own naturopath that's going to come up and really do the first part of tonight's presentation. And then we're going to come back on. We're going to hear some testimonials. We're going to talk about some of the different options. And we're going to talk about our brand new coaching program that actually launches in January. So that's super exciting. So what I want to do real quick, first I want to thank you, Phyllis, for all that you do. That was so powerful. But I want to go ahead and bring up our phenomenal naturopath who's going to really set the tone for tonight. So you're going to want to go ahead and grab your pen and paper. You're going to want to go ahead and take copious notes.
I don't see it.
Elevate it to that next level. Without any further ado, Eric Prince is a naturopathic doctor. In fact, he's helped hundreds of people reverse chronic disease through diet and lifestyle changes. In fact, he was first motivated to help people after he couldn't help his very own grandmother who died of a heart attack.
Where did you have it?
Thanksgiving. Can someone help mute everyone, please? We're getting a lot of noise. Everybody's excited. I know you guys are, but as you come on, if you can just mute yourself for me, that would be great. But he was motivated to help people after he couldn't save his very own grandmother who died of a heart attack during Thanksgiving in 1979. He also faced his own health challenges due to a toxic relationship. I know many people can relate to that, eating against his blood type and over consuming animal protein. And so these are some of the challenges that he's now become an expert on, and he's going to really help lead the path. In fact, if I give you just a quick little bio: emergency medicine at Malcolm X College, chemical engineering and psychology, the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana, holistic health, naturopathy under Dr. Layla, Africa. In fact, Big Ten track and field athlete, Masters track and field athlete, 2011 Masters world champion in the 400 meters. And he is now training in fact, for the 2022, collegiate track and field season. Isn't that absolutely amazing? So without any further ado, Eric Prince, if you can go ahead and take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Great. Well, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. That was a wonderful introduction. I really appreciate that. And sometimes I look back and I don't realize how much I have done, but my life experience has prepared me for today. It has prepared me for everything that's going on. The pandemic, I was telling people 10 years ago, I said the people that are going to be able to survive the pandemic, if it ever shows up, are going to be the ones with the strongest immune system. And I told people that in my classes a long time ago because I knew that we were going through a process where our bodies were getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And you can't really tell because we're not sick during the time that our body is getting weak. We have no idea our body is weakening over time because, we're out dancing, we're out stepping, we're going to events. We don't see a difference, but you do see a difference. You see the weight coming on, you see the issues coming, you see the aches, you see the pains. Those are all signs that your body is degenerating. We have become accustomed to these signs and we have just accepted them as that's what they are. That's what aging is. But I tell you, we can reverse this whole process. When I learned about biofeedback technology, I learned that we are all waiting on the crisis to show up in our bodies. You couldn't have explained that to me a long time ago, but when I started doing the scans back in 2011, and I started seeing the patterns of illness, the patterns of disease, and I realized that it was connected to our diets, the same diets that we all grew up on, the beef, pork, chicken, turkey. And I realized that our body is degenerating much faster now than it ever has been degenerating. It's probably because of what they're putting in our food nowadays, and our body just can't handle anymore. So in that situation, we're also watching our immune systems get worse. And so when our immune system starts getting weakened, then we can't survive an infection. we can't survive a pandemic. And think about it, look around. Look, you know, some people right now that are dealing with COVID. And COVID is a beast. It is not anything to mess with. And I'm gonna tell you, you don't want to wait until it shows up, because it's gonna be the worst nightmare you've ever had. You need to start now. And I'm saying this from my heart. You need to start now preparing your family, your friends, your loved ones to deal with this monster, because it is taking lives left and right. And I don't know how it got here. That's not important right now. What's important is that we fortify our systems against this beast, because it's different trying to manage it while you have it than it is trying to avoid it. And I think I got some testimonies, a testimony on the line, and I think Tariq is on here. I'm going to talk to him in a little bit later, because he's going to tell you something that's very important. But for right now, I want you to understand that I've been helping people for years to detoxify their body. And the question is, why am I helping people to detoxify their body? Because once you start removing the stored waste out of your body, once you start cleaning your cells, once you start to clean your organs, then it starts to function as it functioned when you were in your prime, when you were in your best shape, when you were younger. And that's important, because when you come up against any type of virus, any type of bacteria, your body is going to do what it does based on the condition that it's in. And what I'm seeing over the past 10 years is that most of us are dealing with a weakened immune system. So we're all going to struggle during this pandemic. So my goal is to help people to start to strengthen their immune system through cleansing your body, correcting all vitamin and mineral deficiencies, getting rid of the mucus that's in your system, killing any parasites, because that meat has dealt us quite a few parasites in our gut. And we should be having more microorganisms, gut flora in there, not parasites. Because what happens is that when you have less bacteria, good bacteria in your gut, you're going to have more bad and harmful bacteria in your gut. What that means is that now your immune system is going to be compromised, because 70% of your immune system is in your gut. 70%. That's a C average on the test. So we're not playing here. This is about helping those who want to be helped. And I learned a long time ago, there are people that I want to help. There are people that other people want to help. But unless those people want the help, you can't help them. They have to be willing and ready to make the changes that are going to be necessary in order to save their life. We don't think about it now until that crisis show up, because when that crisis show up, it's a whole nother monster. It's a whole nother beast, because now we're trying to deal with it. And it may take a long time. It's going to be a lot of suffering, a lot of weight loss. It's going to be a lot of sickness, illness, and maybe even some loss of time off work, which means now that leads to a whole different slew of problems. So the things that we're putting together for Wakanda, that I helped Melissa to put together, these products, these are products that I know without a shadow of a doubt that will, one, help you to start correcting any vitamin and mineral deficiency. And yes, you all have some deficiencies. Now, there are people that are cleansing right now that may be correcting their deficiency, but it still takes a few years to correct that deficiency, because you can go years with a deficiency and never even know it. And so one of the things we're able to see on the scan is we can see exactly where you're deficient. And based upon that deficiency, we want to start correcting it in that area. Not only that, but the fact that we've been eating animal products most of our life. Some people may say, well, I stopped eating animal products a few years ago, and that's understandable. But even though you may have stopped a few years ago, the damage has already been done to your body. And so now it's not about just transforming and transitioning to another diet. Now you have to repair the damage. from the diet that you grew up on. And we all grew up on that same diet. And I hate to be the bringer of bad news, because I know we just came out of a holiday. We came out of a few holidays. And during those holidays, we followed tradition. And what is tradition? It's the animals, it's the turkey, it's the chitlins, it's the chicken, the stuff that we love to eat. And don't get me wrong, I used to love to eat that stuff as well. But I love my life a lot more. I love my mom. I love my family. I love my son. I love them more than life itself. And so now we have to start to really protect them. And the only way we can really protect them is with knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. And that's what we have now. We have wisdom and understanding, because now we didn't know about that before. We didn't know that we was in a state of degeneration. We didn't know that we were moving towards heart disease. We didn't know that we was moving towards kidney failure. We had no idea we was moving towards diabetes, even though we were not diagnosed. We had no idea. But now, through the bioscan, people now see that we are moving towards a ticking time bomb that's gonna explode inevitably. You cannot stop this unless you intend it, unless you reverse it. And that's what the whole process is about. It's about learning how to reverse your degenerative process. So we want to go from degeneration to regeneration. You need to start regenerating your body. And so you want to start to help your family, friends, anyone that you really care about, to start protecting themselves before a pandemic, before the coronavirus shows up. Some people have not experienced it yet. Some people have not been exposed to it. But let me tell you this. It's not a matter of if or when you're gonna get it. It's a matter of when you do, if and will you survive it. That's what it's all about, because it's not going away. And unfortunately, it's starting to pick up momentum, and becoming variants, so you don't want to deal with this with the weakened immune system. So we plead with you to get to the website, start with the first 3 products. We're going to be adding, I'm going to add as many as possible so that we can have a powerful arsenal of products, holistic products that we can use every day of our life. And that anyone outside of Wakanda that wants to be protected, they can come into Wakanda and be a part of what we're doing and become protected. Guess what? This is the ark. This is the ark that Noah built a long time ago. We're building an ark for our people, and they don't even know it yet. But so we have to start to first save ourselves. So I don't know if you have ever detoxed your body before or cleansed before, but I tell you this, even if I don't scan you, I already know that you're dealing with some degeneration in your body. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how much working out you do. There were a few people that work out a lot. There are a few fitness people that once they saw their scan, they were shocked. And sometimes it's a humbling experience, because once you realize that you have some work to do, then now you get to work. But don't wait. We need to start now. We're looking at also cleaning out your gastrointestinal tract. So that's what the tea is all about. The tea is a formula that was given to me by my herbalist. And when my herbalist gave me this formula, he put me through a 40-day holy roller fast, like Jesus, like Moses. And all I was doing was 2 juices a day, and I was drinking the tea in order to clean my system out. I literally went from 235 pounds down to 160 something. Now, yeah, everyone's not gonna lose like that. That was the first time I had ever fasted before, so I didn't really know what I was doing. But I did look a little ill to a lot of people, because all they knew was that I was once this massive person, muscular guy, and then now all of a sudden I'm this small pipsqueak. So yeah, they didn't know exactly what was going on, but even though they thought I was getting sick, I was actually getting well. And I had to go through it. And thank God to this very day that I went through all of that, because now I have something to offer our people. I have something that can save our lives, that can protect our families, and something that we can count on every year. This isn't a one and done. When you start detoxing your body, you make it an annual process. You're cleansing every year, sometimes twice a year. If you feel like it, sometimes 3 times a year. It all depends on what's going on with you. Because I'm going to tell you something, sometimes we do fall off. I'm not going to say that life is a perfect process for a lot of us, because sometimes we enjoy life and then we enjoy it a little bit too much, and now we're in trouble. Well, I've done it many times before. In fact, I've used a 7-day cleanse to restore balance anytime I was too off balance. But I at least do 1 cleanse a year. My cleanse is usually in August, right after my track and field season, and right before I start my pre-training season. But excuse me. And so, but this year, I did a cleanse in January to clean out 2020, and then I did one in August. And so next year, I'm gonna do maybe 1 or 2 as well. But right now, Melissa is right. I am training for the 2022 collegiate track and field season. Yes, I am 52. And the reason I'm able to run college track and field that I started back in 2000, let me see. I started back in 2010 running college, but I wasn't that good back then. I just started getting better. But the more I cleansed, the more I detoxed my body, the more I got younger, the more I started getting the more energy I started to have. And I found myself being able to run just as fast in my 40s than I was when I was in my 20s. So I'm not saying that everyone's trying to go and start competing again. That was just something that I wanted to do. But I am telling you that I pushed the pedal. I pushed the limit. So it's all about what you desire to do. You know, we can't just live life dodging and hiding from diseases, hiding from viruses. That's not how you live life, in fear. You can't even see a virus. You can't even see a bacteria. So how are you going to hide from it? You know, a mask may help you, but it may not. You know, but when it comes, now what are you going to do? If you trust God, and I'm not speaking of any particular religion right here. I'm talking about the one who created us all. He made in you a powerful immune system that you have not been a good steward over. And I know that because of the scan. The bioscan tells me the truth about what's going on in a person's body. And many of us have not been good stewards over it, not because we intentionally want to hurt ourselves. We have not been good stewards because we've been lied to so much about so many things. You know, FDA, all these food and drug regulations that we think are here to help us are not helping us. So we have to take our health back into our own hands. So I encourage you to start the process of detoxifying your system. Bring your people to Wakana so that we can start to build a place of safety, not just for us, but for people out there who have nowhere else to go. At some point, we will have a Wakana Wellness Center that will supplant hospitals. And so you will have a choice. Do you want your condition treated? Then you go to the hospital. Do you want your condition eradicated? Then you go to the wellness center. We never had that choice. We only had one. We only had one choice: to treat our condition. And unfortunately, if you're just treating your condition, you're not addressing the underlying issues. And that's what the bioscan is showing me, that all the times we've been back and forth to the hospital, all the treatments that we've ever had, we have not stopped our degeneration process. We're moving year by year closer to losing our lives, losing our health, and we aren't doing anything about it until now. Now we have the ability to correct that issue, to be more proactive, not reactive. Because see, here's the thing, you're gonna deal with some affliction. The question is it gonna be voluntary or involuntary. When you detox, that's voluntary affliction. You're controlling that. But when you get sick, that's involuntary and you got to deal with it. So the more you deal with the voluntary, the less you will have to deal with the involuntary. Does that make sense? No one wants to deal with something that they have to deal with, but if you choose to deal with it, you are now exercising your free will. You're exercising your choice to do this. And when you do that, you're getting healthier and healthier year after year after year. And guess what? It doesn't matter at that point what shows up in the environment, what virus, what new pandemic. It doesn't matter because you're going to be able to weather that storm. And unfortunately, 1,000 are going to fall by your side, 10,000 by your right hand, but it is not going to come near you. Only with your eyes shall you behold and see the rewards of the wicked, because the Lord, which I have made my refuge, even the Most High, my habitation, there shall no evil befall you, neither shall any plague, sickness, or illness will come nigh thy dwellings, because he gives his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. You got to believe in the word, because this is not going to work otherwise. This is not a fad. This is not a trend. This is life. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't start now getting serious about it in 2022, you're going to be dealing with some suffering and some loss of life. And it's going to really tear you apart. So I'm going to open it up for any questions, because I don't want to get too emotional here.
Hi, this is Tracy. I have a question.
Yes.
Thank you, Eric. So what is the bioscan and where can we find that?
The bioscan, where do you live?
I'm in the Chicagoland area, the suburbs.
Okay, for all of you out there that's local, or if you're not local, take the trip. Until we get to you, come to us. Now, we do have a tour set up. We're going to be touring the country. We're not going to get to 100 cities. We'll probably get to maybe 8 or 9 cities. But take the trip here. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we are down at the Wakana building and we're scanning people. But you want to make sure that you let Melissa know, or Mooney, because they have to schedule you in. This is a system now. And the system means that we're scheduling people all the time, to be there in order to be scanned. The scan, the biofeedback, it's non-invasive. There is no radiation. There's no harm to your body. It's called quantum resonance magnetic analysis. So we're dealing with quantum physics. We're not dealing with Newtonian physics. Our present healthcare system is predicated on Newtonian physics. That's when we thought the world was flat. We get it? We thought the world was flat. We're not there anymore. Quantum physics includes mind and body. Newtonian physics looks at the body as a machine. That's why it works from the outside in. Quantum physics works from the inside out. Disease begins in the spirit. That's why if you have any issues emotionally, if you have any mental issues, any traumatic issues, that can bring disease to the body, because it's affecting your energy, it's affecting your spirit, which at some point trickles down into the body. And so when we do the scan, it only takes a few minutes for the scan to analyze what's going on in your body. The scan lets us know what's happening in your body at the cellular level, where your body is storing waste. And you need to know where your body is storing waste, because your organs were not meant to be a dump site. And that's what leads to what the one cause of all diseases, which is cellular malfunction. So yes, you want to come to Wakana, set up with Melissa or Mooney, and we'll be there for as long as you guys are coming.
Where are you located?
The Wakana building is 411 East 35th Street, and that's Chicago, Illinois. 411 East 35th Street. But don't show up down there, because you're gonna be disappointed. You better make sure you call somebody and say, hey, can I get on the schedule? You know, we're not just taking walk-ins, because it's a lot of people that we scan on a weekly basis.
And so what we're going to do,
So what's
guys,
the telephone
there's a lot
number?
of guests on the line. Wait a minute, guys, because there's a lot of guests on the line, and we're going to get these same questions about what's the process. We're going to need to go through a couple of points, and then we're going to bring Willie Mooney up. He'll explain the process. Then we're going to open it up for questions, just because I know if we don't, Eric, they're going to ask you a million questions. And I know the guests are going to still wonder, hey, what do I do next? So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And then we're going to bring, we're going to first bring Dr. Prince back up, and then we'll bring Willie up. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's talk about next steps, guys, because that was amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Prince, for opening us up. I mean, I knew that you had just such a heavy message on your heart, and we needed to hear that. So I need everyone just to hit the chat up. Let's give it up for Dr. Prince for really setting the tone tonight, for letting us know that we must make better choices. And what I want to do real quick for the guests that are on the line, for anyone that's new to this, in fact, looks like we have our highest webinar ever. So we have a lot of new people on the line. Your next steps, okay? You want to get with the person who invited you. They're going to be able to point you to their website, get you details on the products, right? You want to make sure that if you currently do not know your blood type, okay, it's important that you get your blood type tested. You can actually go to Amazon. You can go to any of our local stores like Walmart and get a test. It's less than $9. You can buy it online. They'll deliver it to your door. If you're in the Chicago area, we are doing blood type testing for free all the way up until the end of the year. Otherwise, you can just order your own kit. So make sure you know your blood type. In fact, if you already know your blood type because you're a part of this movement, I want you to hit us up in the chat. Let us know, are you an A, a B, an O? Where are our blood types at? Let us know who's out there, because we're building communities around our blood type. Step number 2. Now, if you're not in Chicago, we actually have started the process of creating a survey that you can take so that it doesn't slow you down. We don't want you to miss out on your blessings. We don't want you to not get started because you're not in a city where it's accessible. We are rolling out coaching that will be available all across the country. But right now, if you're not in Chicago, you can actually still participate in step 2, and you can complete our survey, and one of our coaches can help you by phone until you can make an appointment to get here or get scanned in a city near you. And then step number 3, you want to order your products, because our very next challenge, and we're calling this our pledge, is starting on January the 2nd. So that'll give you time to get your products before January the 2nd. Now, the other thing that I want to do real quick, guys, before we go through some of the products that you can actually take advantage of tonight, you know, what Eric talked about is the fact that we've been unknowingly, right? See, most of us, if you're new on the phone, if this is your first time, no one's ever told you that you should eat according to your blood type, right? If you're a type A, they've never told you you should avoid beef and catfish and crab and lobster and pork. If you're type B, they've never told you that you should avoid chicken and crab and lobster and pork. I mean, black beans, avocado. If you're a type O, right? No one's told you to avoid catfish and dairy and octopus and pork. I mean, there's so many things that we're eating that's causing these issues that Eric was outlining as a result. Now that we're in this pandemic, it's compounding it. Because one of the things we've taught week after week is what we're eating, right? Our body's going to determine, is this a friend to the body or is this a foe to the body? And see, one man's food could be another man's poison. See, might be able to eat chicken because I'm a blood type A, and perhaps it's still going to cause issues down the road, but it's not as toxic as someone who's a blood type B who should never eat chicken, because chicken is toxic to a blood type B. And so when we think about food that we're eating, most of the time we think about food as something that's going to nourish the body. But what we've learned through science, what we've learned through this coaching, is that food contains something called lectins. And different blood types respond to different lectins differently. And if you eat a food that contains lectins that are incompatible with your blood type, it's going to target an organ of the body, your kidneys, your liver, your brain, your stomach, and now compound that with the fact that we're going through COVID. And so we really have to recognize that when this all starts to happen, you know, it's going to actually start to target, right? The immune system is going to target as if there's foreign invaders. And so what this creates is a violent level of inflammation. It's going to cause us to have things like irritable bowel syndrome, cirrhosis of the liver. It shows up as blockage through flow of blood through the kidney. So there's various ways in which it shows up. And so we're just grateful tonight. We're thankful because now we have a way to identify this at the cellular level, and that's through this bioscan technology that Eric has brought to Wakana. And now you have access to this. And so we're super excited to start scheduling these appointments. Willie Mooney will come at the end. He will let you know how you can make your appointment. But again, you don't have to wait for the appointment because you can also take the survey, okay? So we've talked about the problem, but it was important that we just didn't talk about the problem and how our blood types might be are incompatible with the foods we're eating, but we wanted to bring a solution. And through Eric Prince, through Wakana, we now bring a solution. And so you're able to pick tonight, when you hang up off the phone, what phase that you're going to jump into. We encourage you to go straight to phase 3. Many of the people that you talk to tonight, they're in phase 3. Phase 3 is the highest level of healing because it's our 21-day raw plant-based formula. There's juicing recipes, there's all sorts of meal plans. And so phase 3 is really what we recommend you to go. But we do recognize that many of you, for the first time, you're hearing this, and the thought of going on a 21-day raw intensive detox might not be where you're at. And so our goal is to meet you where you're at, to help you to make better choices. And so we also have a phase 1. We call that our plant focus program. We do eliminate, the red meat, we eliminate the pork, but in this phase, you're at least able to eat those wild caught fish, perhaps some pasture raised chicken, if it's okay for your blood type. But again, it's not that we recommend that, but we wanted to build something that can actually help everyone. And so that's our phase 1. Then we have phase 2. Phase 2 is where it's plant-based. It's vegan, but we focused on whole foods, not, the junk food vegan, we call it, right? But this is plant-based vegan, where you're really dealing with not just raw food, but also cooked vegan food as well. And so that's going to be something that many people will find enjoyable because you can cook your food in that particular phase. And so tonight, what you want to do is you want to select what phase based on where you're at right now. If you're already in crisis mode, you want to go straight to phase 3. And that's our raw plant-based. When you hear about COVID and how he's talking about, we want to fortify ourselves. How do we want to do that? With raw plant-based medicine, okay? And so we recommend that, but again, you get to pick your phase because it's your choice. And the next thing you want to do is also recognize, this is our disclaimer. These are statements that have not been approved by the FDA. This information is provided for educational purposes. These products should not be used to treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose your condition. If you're under the care of a doctor or if you're on medication, please consult with your physician before incorporating any new nutritional supplements or regimens. And so I wanted to get that out the way so that we can really jump into the heart of the products so that you can really decide, what phase you're in based on where you're at right now. And so we do have our original flat belly lifestyle that supports our phase 1 and 2. I know many of you on the line, you've already ordered that. And so the products that support phase 1 and 2 include our bitters, our flat belly bitters, our flat belly brew, and our flat belly gummies. Okay, these are designed to curb, your carbs, to flush the fat, to control appetite, boost metabolism, to really slow cravings and burn fat. And so if you're in phase 1 or 2, these are going to be the products we recommend for you. We've had a lot of great success, in our phase 1. In fact, here's some examples of some of the participants who got through phase 1. And you can see, even with phase 1, there's pretty dramatic results. You're burning that fat, you're boosting the metabolism. But with this new program that we've introduced, with this new 21-day cleanse, it's really bringing you to that higher level of healing because we're talking about raw food for maximum healing. We're talking about raw nutritional juices, smoothies, non-GMO and organic. In fact, we do that in every phase, okay? But we have specific products designed for phase 3. Let's take a quick look at those products. In fact, as we go through these products, I'm going to let Eric really come back and explain them in better detail. And so first, let's look at step 1. And so step 1, this amazing product, Eric, that we call the Eliminator, okay? It's really step 1. It's a part of the phase 3 process. Can you really explain to them, about the mucus and the parasites and why they need this product to kick off this phase?
Well, yes, that was one of the issues that I noticed, is that anytime I scan someone and they look and see that they have quite a few deficiencies, vitamin deficiencies, mineral deficiencies, and then they always tell me, but I'm taking that right now. I said, well, even though you may be taking these vitamins, you're not absorbing them. And that's a problem, because if you don't know that you're not absorbing the vitamins and minerals, then every time you buy your vitamins, every time you take them, if you're not absorbing them because of the mucus buildup in your system, then it's just coming out in your stool. And guess what that means? That means that year after year, you think that you're doing something right. And the scripture even tells us that there's a way that seems right unto man, but the end thereof are the ways unto death. So we're going further into deficiency because we believe that we're taking the right stuff, and we are, but we just didn't realize that we were not absorbing them because of the mucus buildup in our system. What is the mucus coming from? It's coming from all the dairy and all the food that we've been eating all of our life. And it's not just drinking milk. There's dairy in everything that we're doing, and not even just dairy, but even cooked food creates a level of mucus in our body. Believe it or not, human beings were not created to eat cooked food. We were created to eat raw and live food. And so this whole process is about taking you back to pre-flood days when we were eating live and we were eating raw, and our bodies were more alkaline. And yeah, the parasites, they're also stripping you of your vitamins and minerals as well as the mucus itself. So that's why it's important to understand that this one is going to help you to start correcting the deficiency. And then the purifier, yes. Ooh, look at that burger on there. So one of the things that has to happen before the body can be well, you have to clean out your whole gastrointestinal tract. I'm talking about stomach, small intestines, and large intestines. Most people are dealing with constipation nowadays. And if you're dealing with any type of constipation, any type of blockage in your system, that's like a clogged sewer system. And you know, and I know that when it rains hard out in these streets and the bridges start to flood, that's because there's a clogged sewer system. Well, that backup goes right into your organs. Liver, it goes into your kidneys, and your liver and kidneys was not meant to hold excessive waste, which means it's going to hinder the function of your liver and your kidneys and any other organ that you're dealing with. So before anything can happen, before your body can get well, you have to clean out your whole gastrointestinal tract. And so that's what the liquid colonic does. That's why I call it liquid colonic, which is a spinoff from liquid Drano, because we are clogged up big time. And then the last one is the icing on the cake, because it has about 8 powerful, rich nutrients that your body needs in order to replenish the vitamins and minerals that you are deficient in. And now that you've gotten the mucus out of there, now that you're cleaning out your gastrointestinal tract, now when you do the superfood, and let me explain this about the superfood. When you do the 21 days, you're on a juice regimen. You're on a raw fruit and vegetable juice regimen, and we have a regimen that you follow. You're doing 3 juices a day. Whether it's 16 ounces, it's going to be up to you. 16 ounces or 24 ounces. If you bad, 32 ounces. I do 32 ounces because I've been doing this for a long time, but not everybody can deal with that much juice. But you're looking at a morning juice, a midday juice, and an evening juice. And then inside of that juice is where you're putting your superfood so that nutrition can get into your system without having to go into your gut. So, because remember, simultaneously, what are we doing? We're cleaning out the gut while we're flooding your body with nutrition. Because even detoxification itself is the most energy consuming process in the body, which in and of itself will actually throw you into a deficiency. So we don't want to make you more deficient. So when you flood the body with nutrition, with the juices, and you're cleaning out your gastrointestinal tract and you clean out the mucus, now simultaneously you're correcting everything that needs to happen in the body for the body to restore balance. All we're doing is removing the obstacles to your body's natural healing process, and your body heals itself.
Wow. And let's look at some of the results real quick, guys. I mean, we've had so many amazing challenges, but when I looked at the results from this program, it's like nothing I've ever seen. I mean, Phyllis, who you heard from earlier, I mean, just look, and this is in 21 days. I mean, typically to see results like this, it's much, much, much longer. Here's some other results that, you know, people have shared, whether it's on social media, and it's not always about losing a dramatic amount of weight, right, Eric? It's sometimes just losing the waste. It's about getting rid of the toxins that are in the body. Okay. I think I have a few more pictures. Gigi just sent me that one, Eric. I know you'll be proud of her. She's got 10 pounds and most of it's in her gut. Like, she's always had fabulous legs. So her battle has been her gut.
She looks great.
So look at her right there, right? Looking great. And here's some more pictures. This is Gail. I think you've seen her before and after picture. And this happened in just 21 days, ladies and gentlemen. And then my son, they came to visit. And when I witnessed their transformation, I mean, it was just so dramatic because we had just seen them 3 weeks prior. And that's when they started the program. And combined, Eric, I believe they're down like 37 pounds. I think my son, in the last 21 days, he's lost 20. That's more than a pound of waste a day. I mean, that is unheard of.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And so
somebody, go ahead.
No, but go ahead. No, say what you're saying. Yeah.
No, somebody had a question about small people. The closer you are to your body mass index, the less you lose. The closer you are to your body mass. So a person that's more overweight, they're going to lose more. But the closer you are to your body mass index, you still have waste to lose. So let the vanity go. Let the waste go so that you can be healthy, because once you clean that waste out, then now you can start to rebuild lean muscle. We got to get away from this vanity and this appearance stuff. It's about your health. You don't want to be attractive sitting in a coffin. That's not important. You want to be healthy and strong. And if that means losing a little weight like I did, because let me tell you something. I never told anybody about this. And don't look at me negative, but I used to be on daytime TV. I used to be on the Jenny Jones show. I was one of those beefcake models on the Jenny Jones show back in the early part of the 200s. So I was a beefcake model. I was 235 pounds. So I wasn't trying to lose any of that muscle mass because that was the image that I created. And I might have created that image out of insecurity, but nonetheless, that was an image I created. And when I had my awakening, I had to let it all go. I had to let the body go. I had to let everything go, because what was most important was not vanity anymore, not being in showbiz, not being on daytime TV. It was about healing myself, being there for my family, and being there for you. So you got to let that vanity stuff go, okay?
You know, and that reminds me too, on January the 2nd, I have a whole club of people that call themselves so-called skinny that are starting this challenge too, just because of what you said. You know, we don't want to be skinny in a coffin, right? So we want to go ahead and lose the waste, and then you can build it back up, because once you're out of that program, there's a lot of protein that we can use, from pea protein, the hemp proteins, where you can get in the gym, you can build your muscles back, okay? So don't worry. Look at Eric now. You're not 200 and something pounds, but you're very fit, okay? So that's great. And so the next steps, okay, again, you're gonna get your blood type done. You're going to do your scanner survey and then get your products. And so at this point, you're probably thinking, do I want to go through the process that Eric just described, where I'm really going to cleanse on that cellular level? And that means you're going to go ahead and jump into phase 3. Are you going to start a little bit slower with phase 1 or 2? So make that decision so that you can know exactly what you want. Here are the product packs so that you can see the price points. Phase 1, there's a package for $149. We've just introduced phase 2. I don't even know if it's all the way live on the site yet, but that's $165.90, but that's where you're really focused on the plant-based, but you can do your cooked plant-based. And then there's phase 3, which is our raw 21-day cleanse. And so there are your product packs. We've also now included a free ebook once you actually join our online community. And I'm super excited for Christian Phillips. I don't know if he's actually even on the line tonight, but he talked to the group on Thursday. But we've just finished building an online community where you can actually go, you can register for the online community. And as soon as you buy your phase, whether it's phase 1, 2, or 3, it's going to send you a free ebook automatically, and it's going to outline exactly what you should do. And so this is not something that you have to think about too hard, because we put everything in place. And so if you're, let's give you an example, if you're on phase 1, it's going to first of all give you your plant-focused food pyramid. It's going to let you know really how to focus to build a healthier lifestyle. And so it's going to go through all your different meals. It's going to provide to you recipes. It's going to tell you every single thing you need to know. It's even going to give you a lot of vegan options, because even if you're in phase 1, we want you to also start thinking more vegan so that you can really fortify your system. It also even gives you some options for those who have that sweet tooth. It's important that you avoid excess sugar. And so we've actually identified some dark chocolate that actually has 0 sugar that actually are approved on our grocery list if you're on phase 1. And of course, it's going to constantly remind you that you want to do more plants, more raw food, and more vegetables, even through phase 1. But let's say you decide to do phase 2. With phase 2, we have a completely different ebook. And that ebook is going to start reminding you, right, about what's happening, in the food areas in our community and how it's slowly killing us. So it's going to remind you on why you want to be in phase 2, okay? It's going to teach you how to build your own raw vegan tacos. It's going to identify different recipes. It's going to identify different food that could work well for some of these raw recipes so that you can even in phase 2 introduce yourself to more raw options. In phase 2, it's going to also encourage you to build blood type salads, where you can build a salad around your blood type. Okay, it's going to identify all the food and all the nutrients that you need. And of course, healthy snacking is a part of every phase. And so it's going to go through and teach you how to build your own snacks. And so you're going to design a diet that works for your life's purpose. You're going to be able to design it based on the foods that you love the best. And even in phase 2, we give you your own plant-based food pyramid so that you can know that if you're in phase 2, this is the hierarchy, okay? This is how you want to build the base, and you want to build it up, where you have a strong foundation. And then as you keep going up, you have a little bit less of those items. And then of course, for those of you who've already jumped into phase 3, okay? If you've jumped into phase 3 already, we've already emailed you your ebook. That ebook went out, I believe, on Friday. And in that ebook, it also presented you with your raw food pyramid so that you know exactly how to start centering all of your meals. And it also provides you with tons of resources, right? So that you can actually access all of these resources for free. And that's provided to you, once you actually go ahead and enroll in the program. And so we're super excited about that. In fact, I know, Eric, one of the things that we struggled with is that so many people want to connect with you because they want to learn more about their scan. And here's the thing, guys. I mean, we have literally almost 20,000 customers here at Wakana, okay? We have thousands of distributors. Eric is only one person, okay? So we've had to build a system around him, which includes a process. And this process also, we introduced tonight our coaching process, where some of you are going to become coaches just like Eric, where you're going to get certified so that you can actually start doing these scans. And with these scans, we know that you come and get the scan, and what it includes is a 15-minute free scan and consultation for 15 minutes. There's advanced wellness session that you can actually purchase on your very own website starting tonight. So I don't know if it's live yet, but starting tonight, you can purchase the advanced session for $75. That's going to include a copy of your scan and additional coaching with your assigned coach. And right now, the assigned coaches, we have just 3 of them, okay? And so what I'm going to do, just speak real quick, Eric, on this process, what they expect when they come and see you here in Chicago, and explain what the 15-minute entails.
Well, the initial scan is not an in-depth analysis. It is, well, it's going to give you information that you didn't know, but just enough information so that you will understand how important it is to continue moving forward in this process. Anyone that has ever gotten a scan has started the process of reversing their biological age. That's why the name of the program that I coined back in 2011 is Age Reversal Detoxification. And so that's about reversing your biological age. And so the scan gives you information and it lets you know exactly where you are in real time on that disease progression scale. Well, when you know where you are on the disease progression scale, then you can start to reverse it. See, it's a program that's running. This program is running in all of us, and it's been running for a long time. And until you see that program, you cannot stop it. You cannot reverse it. But once you see it, you can now reverse it. That's what we call shifting your paradigm. If we don't shift your paradigm, then you will continue on the old program that leads to what we call death. And that's why it's important for us to start to see exactly where we are in real time. Everyone, every human being alive that really cares about their own life needs to do this scan. This isn't some fad. This is something that we all need to do because we're all moving on the same program. So the 15 minutes gives you a kind of a bird's eye view as to what's going on in your body. And then from that point, we're actually able to utilize this data in order to help you to start eradicating any issues that may have started when you was in your teens, in your 20s, in your 30s. And now you're starting to have real health. I'm talking about perfect health, optimum health, opulent health. This is the health that we're shooting for, not the health where we're just making it through life. Because up until now, nobody has ever been able to stop themselves from dying. Why? Because we didn't know how. Now we know how, because now we have the information in order to shift our paradigm, in order to stop that program from running in our subconscious mind. You know, now I gave you guys a book about a while ago, but the power of your subconscious mind is important as you start this journey, because it tells you more about yourself that you didn't know. And so that's important. And then after that, you start the process, and you can actually later on, you can rescan, you can compare the next scan after the cleanse to the scan before the cleanse, and guess what you're gonna see? This is gonna be the most exciting thing that you've ever seen in your life. You're gonna see that you're no longer on the path of degeneration. You are now on the path of regeneration. What does that mean? That means that you're now getting younger. No, this isn't theory. And I'm not just talking, literally you start getting younger. This is why I'm running track and field at the college level, because I proved that you can reverse your biological age. And for the person who asked a question about the endurance training, no, this is one of the best processes in order to shed time off your marathons, shed time off your cross country, shed time off any race. It sheds time just like that. I'm talking about in a very magical and miraculous way. So no, this is the process for you. And I think it was another question out there, but I don't remember. But yes, you're in the right place.
Let's talk about the coaching real quick, Eric, too, because I think that's really gets exciting in the sense that we can help so many people. I mean, our goal is 1 million people to get their blood type. Our goal is 100,000 people to join this pledge. And that's just in the next 18 months. I mean, this is going to go all around the world. So in order to accomplish that, we're going to need more coaches. And I hope some of you on the line are eager and interested in learning what it means to become a coach here with our whole plant-based for your blood type with this system. And so what we've done is we put together a coaching package, and that coaching package, it's really exciting for those of you who've already joined Wakana as a distributor, because many of you are already in as a distributor at our crown jewel level, which is the top level. So normally the coaching package would look like a $1,500 package. But guess what? For those of you who are already in as a crown jewel, perhaps you're a founding crown jewel, your coaching package is going to be just $500. And if you don't know what it means to be a crown jewel, get with the person who invited you. They're going to share details on how you can make that happen so that you can come in at the $500 level as well. But that's going to include your mini scan. It's going to include a few of the blood type testing kits to get you started, sample products, a 2-day certification. And all of this actually launches at our health conference, okay? And so I know many of you are gonna have questions on when can I become a coach? Just know that all those details are launching at our health conference on January the 15th. So mark your calendar. If you wanna be one of the first people to become a coach, I know some of you have already gotten through the first 21 days. And so there's gonna be a few of you that we're gonna actually work with a little bit earlier. And then some of you who I know are on the coaching call Thursday, we're going to grandfather a few of you in as well, because I know some of you are about to finish your cleanse as well. And so with that said, Eric, talk to them about the coaching and the power of what that's going to mean to really have an army of people out there doing what you're currently doing?
Oh man, it's so important. It's been my life mission to develop tens of thousands of coaches. You know why? Because like Melissa said, there's not a whole lot of me, and sometimes I may wind up going down because I'm helping so many people, and that's not going to help at all. So I have to duplicate myself. I have to create more coaches because the first leading cause of death in America is heart disease. We're looking at 649,000 people die every year from heart disease. 500,000 die from cancer. So if you add those numbers up, you're looking at 1 million people that die every year from just two of the top two degenerative diseases out there. In order for us to make a dent in that number, millions, we have to have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of coaches. So we're behind. We have a lot of people to save, but we got a long way to get to. So yeah, this coaching is very serious. This is a lifetime process. This is a career. So if you're really ready to do something positive for the rest of your life and enjoy not only wealth, but also good health, because every coach has to detox themselves. Every coach is going to be required to detox their body at least once a year. Why? Because we have to be the epitome of good health. We can't be unhealed healers. That's not going to work. You have to be a healed healer because sometimes you may offend someone if you are dealing with toxins yourself. And I know how toxic people can be. You know, Melissa mentioned some of that. I dealt with a toxic relationship, and yeah, you don't want to be a toxic person trying to help somebody heal because you may be making them more diseased and that. But yeah, become a coach, and yeah, you can get rid of your job and create a career. Coaching is a career. And guess what? We're going to be traveling all over the country, all over the world, and you're going to actually be training coaches yourself. So you're going to coach, but then again, now you're going to be training coaches. And so it just keeps on going because this is how we change the world. There is no other way to do this, people. This is the only way we can change the world and we can make a dent in these death rates. And that's why we need coaches. And I need a lot of help.
Well, that is amazing, and just excited about this movement. I just want to thank everyone for participating tonight. So what I want to do now, Eric, is turn the floor over to you to really bring up some testimonials. We want to hear from people that have actually already went through the process and just answer questions and just do what you do best, okay? Pour into the crowd, because I know there's probably some more questions out there. And then we want to limit it to about maybe 3 questions, because then we need to bring Willie up so that he can go through their marching orders and let them know how they can set their scans up here in Chicago and any other homework that might be necessary for the group tonight, okay?
Right. So I do have one testimony I want to talk about. And this is your son, Tariq. He has something that he wants to share with people. And I guess the question people want to ask is the detox process really a protection? Is it really a strong process? Does it really work? Well, Tariq, I want you to come on if you're there and tell them about what happened to you at church. Is he there?
Oh, see, Tariq gone.
Tariq left.
I don't
Okay.
know, yeah. You know what?
Well,
I can, yeah.
Well, no, that's okay. Text him, but I'm gonna go to someone who
Let's start off with
knew me, and I'm hoping she's still here. Karen, if you're out there, I want you to kind of validate when I was working in the emergency room over at University of Chicago. Are you out there, Karen?
Yes, I'm here.
So I want to let you guys know, you know, I didn't recognize Karen, but she recognized me, and she remembered me from working in the ER in University of Chicago, which is called Bernard Mitchell. And at that time, it was also Weilers. Weilers and Bernard Mitchell were together, but Weilers was a pediatric trauma center. So a lot of pediatric traumas came in, but heck, a lot of traumas came into the Bernard Mitchell, even though it wasn't a trauma center, but they still dealt with some traumas because, you know, you had to take the gunshot wound victims to the closest hospital, and sometimes that was the closest one. So, Karen, I just want you to kind of tell people how you know me and where you first saw me.
Yes, good evening. I first saw you at the University of Chicago. As you said, we worked together in the emergency department. I was a registered nurse and trauma certified, and you were a paramedic. And I just remember you being very interested in learning about different patients, what was going on, being extremely helpful to the staff that was there. Always, when the telemetry radio would go off, you would follow one of the nurses answering the telemetry radio right into the telemetry room so you could find out, so you could just be right in the middle of everything that was going on. You know, I could turn around and sometimes you would think faster than I would, or you would move faster, you would draw the blood, you would start the IVs. I remember all of that.
Yeah.
And so when I saw you, but just like you said, you were really buffed up, muscles always shining, and so I was like, okay, this guy, he's a bodybuilder, he looks all buffed up, and now you have lost all of that muscle, but not really lost the muscle.
Right. Don't make me feel too bad.
No, but
No,
you have slimmed down quite a bit.
Exactly.
From that time. And I just remember that. And then the one thing that I really remember was how family orientated you were. You have a sister that was working in the emergency department. She's very smart as well, but she was struggling with her issues. And she had a baby that was premature. And this is the big thing. I really thought that she really thought highly of her brother. Usually brothers and sisters kind of rub each other the wrong way, but you must have really rubbed her the right way, because she was pregnant at the time. She had a baby premature, and she named it Eric after you. And that just really touched me. So that's my testimony.
Thank you. I appreciate that, because, you know, not too many people remember me from that era. And, you know, back then when I was there, I was actually working with Dr. Ian Smith, which a lot of you may know Dr. Ian Smith. He was actually going through his residency at the time. And me and Ian Smith would collaborate a lot because, you know, we were pretty much around the same age. We were talking and, you know, whatever was going on in the ER, we was both right there on the spot. Even in the hospital, they had a code, and the code was called Dr. Cart. Dr. Cart. Anytime you heard the code Dr. Cart, that means that somebody is crashing somewhere in the hospital. They say Dr. Cart, and then they tell you exactly where. I was always on the scene. It didn't matter where it was. If it was in the cafeteria, I was there. If it was one of the rooms, I was there. I was always moving around that hospital to try to help as many people as possible, because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. But once I realized that it was burning me out, and these people, I didn't know about biofeedback technology then. I didn't know that it didn't matter how much I tried to save a life. They were so far into disease progression that a few life-saving measures was not gonna help. And at that point, I shut it down and I left. And that's when I had to find myself. So I thank you. I thank you for that. And I appreciate you being a testimony. So I'm gonna open it up to any more questions out there.
That actually is phenomenal and amazing. Man, Eric, you have dropped the mic tonight. I'm so proud of you, Frat. So you know what? I have just addressed a whole lot of questions in the chat, but I know you all want your marching orders. So what I'm gonna put in the chat, and let me see, hold on one second. I just typed this up real quick. Some of you want to know how to go about getting that are in the Chicagoland area, how to go about getting your scans. So I'm going to paste this in the chat. Hopefully it comes out looking cool. Okay, so to make an appointment, you would email wooly@wakana.com. You will include your full name and you will mention Tuesday or Thursday. And you can copy and paste this, especially all the one thing that you all has as a reference, a very strong reference, is the person that invited you. So after this call, you should definitely get with the person that invited you. And then I want you to mention the person that invited you, right? Even if you send an email, that's another thing I want to add. So what you're also going to do is you're going to mention either Tuesday and Thursday, right? And you're going to choose a perspective. It's not guaranteed that you'll get that time. And I tell you, we scanned about, Eric, right? About 17, 18 people this past, what was it, Tuesday or Thursday? I'm
Right.
Yeah, it was packed. And I did a video, but amazing. So, but I want you to choose a time within a 15-minute increment. So I gave an example. Terrence John, Tuesday at 2:15, right? Now, if there's a date outside of the upcoming week that we're looking at, so we're about to scan Tuesday, like this Tuesday and this Thursday, it's the 28th and the 30th. If you are choosing a day outside of that week in the future, then feel free to mention that date in the email. But we don't need a whole lot of information. First name, just the information that we're requesting. And pretty much that's it. So I would like everybody, as much as possible, to be patient in receiving an email. A whole lot of emails are coming in. So as Melissa just said, it's only Eric and his better half, and I think Mike, but we're only operating off of 2 scans right now. The wonderful part is that Eric is pioneering where more people can become coaches. Melissa just showed you that information. What is that going to do? I see a lot of people asking, well, will there be a scan near me, or will there be this process near me? The answer is very soon, yes, because those who are concluding, right, their 21-day cleanse, not detox, the 21-day cleanse, that's that 21-day package, right? It automatically qualifies them to be a coach, and they too will be trained. And with the packages that Melissa showed, right, they will receive a scan, they will be trained, and they'll be able to offer you that 15-minute consultation and allow you to receive the information. So a couple of key things that when you show up for your scan, I would like for you to do, and we do have Lord Jesus, applications that will be on site. A couple things that you should be mindful that you would want to do. First is this, let me say, back up a little bit. Even before you show up to get your scan, if you know that there's something that's going on with you right now, and you're listening to all of the wealth of information, and Eric went into detail to explain what's happening with our bodies, what he's seeing from the average scan. This is really no respect of person. He's even told you, and you heard some people drop in the chat that share, even being a fitness professional, per se, fitness, healthy professional, they've shown up for those scans because of the way that our lifestyles have been, and have seen colors, right, that just didn't fit them. They didn't want them. So that being said, go to the website and get started. Even when Eric mentioned, and he said, well, you know what? Some of us enjoyed the holiday, and we're going to continue to enjoy the holiday probably until we start this process. Well, you already know, and he's revealed to us that we've just been taught wrong. So he said that the initial thing that everyone, no respect of person, needs to do is detox, cleanse, bring the body back to its original state, right? He said pre-Noah days. So that's not a respect of person. I praise God if you already know and it's already been revealed. But if you don't know what's going in your body right now, I encourage you. I'm on my 7th day and I thought I knew, but I didn't know. Start with the 7 to 21 day cleanse, which is that package that you will see. It says cleanse. Go to the person website, order that as soon as possible. You can actually order it now. So pretty much make sure that after this call, you get back with the person that invited you. That's a very important step. Get back with the person that invited you and really just let them know that you've learned something tonight, that you're very appreciative of Eric, Melissa, and all the founders that have put us in this position to do something different in our lives. I tell you, you will not be disappointed if you start. If you start, don't wait for the scan. Start something now. Now there's so many different testimonies. As a matter of fact, before we close out, I'll say if you have a testimony, either from phase 1 or phase 3, I'm not going to ask you to speak, but I will ask you to just say yes, 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 yes in the chat, right? Just type yes. If you've had an outcome from everything that Wakana has done in regards to health, right? I want you to drop it in the chat, which means we are that catalyst. We're in the right position. We're in the right place, and you are in the right place if you're right here receiving this information, this brand new information right now. So I see the chat blowing up, which is a good thing. It's a great thing. Wow. So that is your testimony. That is what we needed to see, and some people needed to hear. With that being said, you all, I'm going to say good night and have a wonderful evening. Get back with the person that invited you. Love you all. I see you, Adrian. Love you all. Have a great night.
I love you all. God bless you.
Great job, Eric.
God bless. Good night,
Amazing
guys.
information.
Yeah, good night. Thank you.